Good evening, everyone. My name's Mark Allen Lovewell. I'm a folk singer from Martha's Vineyard, and with me is Molly Conole. We're so glad you could join with us tonight.
We are so glad.
Obviously, you know, we're starting off the show with the Ukrainian national anthem. For any of you who are tuning in for the first time, we've been playing this song as an opener for months, and we've been doing it.
We got the flag here with us
We have the
too.
flag right behind us.
A lot of amazing people to honor.
We're paying close attention to what's going on in Europe. We care about our friends out there. We hope everything is all right, but we know it isn't. And so we have to honor that. We have to remember that. And what is especially sad for you and me as we look back over the last week is that, you know, people are being called into duty, called into battle, called to fight, and they don't want to be there. And I'm thinking of the Russians, and it's got to be enormously sad for them because they're fighting a battle that's not even on their homeland, it's somewhere else. They're leaving their loved ones, and so I thought it would be nice to sing this tune, Pleasant and Delightful, which is a song about a man who has to leave his girl to go out on a ship, to go to battle. And whether you're what side of the fence you're on in this incredibly sad and tragic battle, you got to feel sad for anyone who doesn't want to go to war, who doesn't want to fight a battle that they're being hauled in, and that's got to be enormously sad. Obviously, we think of the Ukrainians who are fighting to save their own land, and we're cheering them on, but we feel enormously sad for the soldiers who don't want to be fighting on the Russian side, who'd rather stay home. Was pleasant and delightful on one midsummer's morn, and the green fields and the meadows were buried in corn, and the blackbirds and the thrushes sang from every green tree, and the larks, they sang melodious at the dawning of the day, and the larks, they sang melodious, and the larks, they sang melodious, and the they sang melodious at the dawning of the day. Well, a sailor to his true love, I must be on my way. For the topsails they are hoisted, and the anchor is weighed. That big ship she lies awaiting for the next flowing tide. And if ever I return again, I will make you my bride. And if ever I return again, and if ever I return again, and if ever I return again, I'll make you my bride. Well, a ring from off her finger she quickly drew, saying, take this, dear Henry, and my heart will be true. And as they were embracing, tears from her eyes fell, saying, may I go along with you? Oh, no, me love, farewell, saying, may I go along with you? Saying, may I go along with you? Saying, may I go along with you? Oh, no, me love, farewell. Saying, may I go along with you? Oh, no, me love, farewell.
Oh, it's a tear.
This war is awful. I'm in principle, I'm a conscientious objector. During the Vietnam War, I was too young to go to battle, but when I got of age, the selective service was still in place, and I signed on as a conscientious objector because I was opposed to war. And obviously, in my lifetime, I've seen many, many, many sad stories associated with war. And this is another one. This is a really sad moment in the history of all of us and the humanity and whatever. It's just truly sad.
Which is all the more reason why we do what we're doing right here, which is to have some joyful fellowship. And we're so thankful for you all for being here.
For coming and joining with us in the fellowship of each other. And, you know, the world is really bumpy right now, and we need each other in many more ways than we can even think. And,
That's right.
And this brings Molly and I to the idea that we were talking so much about it today, is how grateful we are that you are with us.
That's right. And paying
every
attention.
Sunday night.
Paying attention and commenting and saying hello. Oh, I didn't turn the comments on. Let me go turn that on so we can say hi and see who's
While
here.
you're doing that, let me just say to you is that for Molly and I, we really work together to look forward to your participation. We plan our musical events around the show on Sunday night.
That's right.
And,
hey, Melissa. Hey, Carol.
And so
And the rest
good
of
to
you who are
have you
here that we don't know who we are yet. I'm glad you're here.
And it's so cool because I mean, we'll be candid. We don't have any performance coming up this winter as of yet. We're thinking of something in January, but we'll tell you about that as we usually
You
do.
mean live things, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. But we have this every single Sunday
But we have
night.
this every Sunday, and
Aren't
we
we
count
lucky?
on it. And you're so responsive.
That's right.
We have to.
You're paying attention.
You're
you
paying
know,
attention.
A lot of times when you're a performer, you got background noise, you got other things going on, or you're supposed to be the background, and to have, people pay attention is really lovely. It's just, it's a joy. So
It's the way I grew up. Is that when you gathered with people for live music, you were quiet. You sat in the audience, or if there was dancing, you dance and whatever. But in most cases, when you're listening to folk singers and people who are storytellers, you're quiet in the audience and you pay attention, and it's what a wonderful thing. And I have kind and very warm feelings about my friends in Oregon, where I've gone for for several years to perform at the Fisher Poets Gathering in Oregon, and you can hear a nail drop on the floor. They're so quiet listening, and they're a treasured audience. My friends out in the state of Washington, state of Oregon, God bless you. We love
And
you
you
all.
are too.
We're hearing from you. Many of you
That's
are
right.
participating
Oh,
in our
Velma's
show.
out there too. Let me see who else. You're across the
Yeah,
room.
go
Let me
take a
see.
look
Let
at
me
it.
see.
I
Susan's here too.
Oh my God.
Everybody, thank you.
I have great news for you. We just got this word 2 days ago. We're on Pandora. I don't know how many of you use internet streaming service Pandora. It's sort of like Apple Music. It's like
All the other ones that were
you know,
already
Spotify
on.
and whatever. Pandora. I know whenever I went to have my teeth cleaned, the lady the health.
That's right.
We were going to have my teeth cleaned. The lady would always have Pandora playing in the background.
And she'd say, "What do you want?" And she'd ask me that too. So now we can say, "I want Mark Allen Lovewell, Molly Conole."
You can.
While we get our teeth cleaned.
We just got an email from them. I wrote them. I wrote them some time ago. You literally have to appeal to them to be on there. Please put us on Pandora.
So we're there.
Well, they are. So you can find us on Pandora, which adds to this summer we were on Bandcamp. If you can find
Bandcamp's another site,
Bandcamp is another where you can actually purchase songs and CDs and stuff like that. So that's part of our relationship that we have, is to share our music with you, not just here, but anyway. So I want to go over to this morning, the show that I had this morning down in Edgartown.
Oh, that was so cool. That was so. I loved how you had the osprey nest
Right
in the back.
We love ospreys. I'm not sure how many of you feel the same way we do, but we love ospreys. Ospreys, they're seahawks. They feed on the fish of the sea. They fish on bait fish and whatever.
There was a big, I would say like a movement to reestablish them here on the island, so people erected those big poles and platforms so they could build a nest on there, and they're all over the island, and they're used. Those birds come all the way back from South America, right, where they spend the winter.
Absolutely.
Somehow they find their way back
Melissa down
here.
in the Chesapeake will have an opinion too, and all the way down the eastern seaboard, people who have a love for ospreys because they're essential.
And they come back to the same place that they were born. It's amazing.
And tell them the story about
when they leave, that's just amazing. So they've raised their young here all summer. They're
the parents, the raising young.
Yep, and then what do? They
parents,
watch them, show them how to fly and everything, and then the parents leave. And the kids, we hear them. We hear the nest right in the back. And they're like, "Where'd you go? Where'd you go?" And they have to figure it out, and somehow they find them. They go up on their own too.
Isn't that amazing? I mean, it's not like they hand a book to each other and say, "Read this book on how to get to South America." They don't. You don't hear them having a coherent conversation between mother and daughter, mother and son.
They just do a lot of squawking before they leave. So I don't know. Maybe they're given directions. We just can't understand what they're saying. But
I mean, when you and I do anything, we have to have a conversation about it. But these birds, they just do it.
It's amazing.
It must be. I mean, it's got to be absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah. And all summer long, you see them catching the fish. You see them swimming with the little fish in their talons. They're cool birds. Oh, I love this song.
So, we had this huge hurricane that crossed the Atlantic just a few days ago and hit Newfoundland, Nova Scotia. Our hearts go out to all our friends out there. And I know I have some followers, some people up there, and it's pretty big impact.
They got hit hard.
Really, and they've never seen it that bad. And houses got washed away. So anyway, we've got two songs we're going to do that are somehow tied to storms. Stormy weather.
Stormy weather.
when the captain spied a lovely mermaid with a comb of glass in her hand. Oh, the ocean waves may roll, and the stormy winds may blow, while we poor sailors go skipping to the top, and the landlubbers lie down below, below, below. The landlubbers lie down below. Well, up spoke the captain of our gallant ship, and a great old captain was he. I have a wife in Salem town, tonight a widow she'll be. Oh, the ocean waves may roll, and the stormy winds may blow, while we poor sailors go skipping to the top. The landlubbers lie down below, 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 and the landlubbers lie down below. Well, up spoke the cook of our gallant ship, and a greasy old cook was he. I care more for my kettles and my pots than I do for the bottom of the sea. Oh, the ocean waves may roll, and the stormy winds may blow, while we poor sailors go skipping to the top. The landlubbers lie down below, 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 and the landlubbers lie down below. Well, up spoke the cabin boy of our gallant ship, and a dirty little brat was he. I have some friends in Boston town, and they don't give a halfpenny for me. Oh, the ocean waves may roll, and the stormy winds may blow, while we poor sailors go skipping to the top. The landlubbers lie down below, 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 and the landlubbers lie down below. Well, 3 times round went our gallant ship, and 3 times round went she. The 3rd time round our gallant ship, she sank to the bottom of the sea. Oh, the ocean waves may roll, and the stormy winds may blow, while we poor sailors go skipping to the top. And the landlubbers lie down below, 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 and the landlubbers lie down below. Oh my God! Here's to you all.
Here's to you all.
Get
Here's
our
to you
ginger
all.
beer
Have a
out.
little
Toast to
ginger
you
beer.
all.
We got Dawn and Eric and everyone. Hey everybody. Here's another stormy song.
Oh, I love this song.
This is a good song. That's a pretty one.
It's on this.
That look familiar?
Does this look familiar? Anybody notice it? Tell them about it.
That's our album, Home with Molly and Mark. You might see a little scrolly thing at the bottom of your screen there, and you can get it. We still have some copies. We sold a whole lot of them, and we thank you guys for buying a bunch of them. And we still got a few more, so spread the word. Thanks.
Yes, and this song she's doing is an old song from Gail Huntington's collection.
Yeah, we found it in his collection. It was a good find. All right.
That's got to be my favorite song from the album. I love that song.
I love that song.
You
It's
really
so
do. It's
pretty.
just
I
such-
love all the things you do with it. It
Well,
sounds
I mean-
like waves. It just sounds like waves going along. I just love it.
Oh, I got it. Oh, I know. I'm still doing something here. Oh boy.
You're still doing something here. Oh boy. Oh, you got a good song coming up. Yeah, you do. Yay, harmonica! Oh, this one's in honor of sea shanty. This one's in honor of sea shanty. I had to go make sure no storms were going to harm it, right? Your boat. It was looking really good. Looking pretty.
Yeah, we went out to make sure it's okay with all this weird weather going on around us.
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh.
That's important. Yeah, I don't know if any of you remember the show from last year that he came and he had to show us the broken rope. Do you remember that? I loved that show. I was watching that show at home and I was sitting there and he was like, I got this rope to show you. Oh, wait a minute, I forgot.
We went back out and ran
You're back and
out.
we're all sitting here looking at this blank screen like, oh, where'd
Does
it go?
anybody remember? I hope
Do you
somebody will
remember
make
that?
a comment that when we devoted a part of the show to splicing,
That's right. And we
For
get to watch
splicing
him do the rope thing. That
the
was
mooring
so cool.
pennant. That's the line that connects the mooring ball that's in the water to the bow of the boat. The mooring pennant.
And you gotta do
And
fancy
at this
stuff
time of
to
year
get
when
it
you're
to
dealing-
do splitting in half and
A
coming
bridle.
down.
Bridle. Yeah, have two lines that's separated so they go on either side of the bow.
I thought that was really cool.
It's critical. You gotta love. It's like holding hands when you're you're trying to save your life. That pennant is critical.
Critical.
You lose that pennant, you lose your boat. So anyhow, last winter, because what you do in the wintertime, you think about boating and you make things, you play with things. So sitting there splicing, Molly said, we ought to put that on the show.
That was so cool. It's like one
Does
of those
anybody
arts.
remember that? Is anybody? Say
Anybody
yes,
remember that?
please.
It's like one of these lost arts that, I think it's really cool.
And it's working, it's doing its job.
Yeah.
Oh, ships may come and ships may go as long as the sea roll. Every sailor lied likewise and that they love that flowing bowl. On the last shore they do adore one that is pumping around. When the money's all gone, it's the same old song. Get up, Jack John, sit down. Singing, hey, laddie-o, laddie, turn that capstan around. When the money's all gone, it's the same old song. Get up, Jack John, sit down. Well, I might take a trip on a clipper ship to China or Japan. In Asia there are ladies fair who love their sailor man. Well, Jack and Joe Palazzo, they'll buy the girls a gown. But when the money's all gone, it's the same old song. Get up, Jack John, sit down. Singing, hey, laddie, oh, laddie, turn that capstan around. The money's all gone, it's the same old song. Get up, Jack John, sit down. Well, Jack makes his way to some old boarding house. He's welcomed in with rum and gin, and he's fed that pork and souse. Well, he'll spend and not offend until he's drunk on the floor. When the money's all gone, it's the same old song. Get up, Jack John, sit down. Singing, hey, laddie, oh, laddie, turn that capstan down. When the money's all gone, it's the same old song. Get up, Jack John, sit down. When Jack is old and weather beat, too old to roust about. At some rum shop they'll let him in, but at 8 bells he's turned out. Well, he'll cry and he'll cry until the skies sing, I'll be homeward bound. When the money's all gone, it's the same old song. Get up, Jack John, sit down. Singing, hey, laddie, oh, laddie, turn that capstan round. The money's all gone, it's the same old song. Get up, Jack John, sit down. Well, Jack is home. He's bought a boat, a catboat with a hole. The boatyard crew, they love old Jack until they found out how much he owed. Well, the stem is rotted, the centerboard trunk leaks, and the mast is cracked, old boy. Today she's up on the marine railway. Tomorrow she'll be hauled away. Singing, hey, laddie, oh, laddie, turn that capstan round and round. When the money's all gone, it's the same old song. Get up, Jack John, sit down. So now to all of you good mariners, wherever you do sail, when your money's all gone, it's the same old song. Get up, Jack John, sit down. Last time, singing, hey, laddie, oh, laddie, turn that capstan round and round. When the money's all gone, it's the same old song. Get up, Jack John, sit down. Get up, Jack John, sit down. Is that fun or what?
That's fun. It's fun.
Oh man.
That's a
That
great song.
poor Jack.
Poor Jack.
Oh my god, the poor guy.
Hope he gets some help with his boat.
How's everybody doing? Please comment. We want some stories in here.
Good
We
to
love
see
your
you.
stories.
We can see it's just far away. We'll be able to see him later, but thanks for being here with us. We're just
Thank you for
happy
being
you
here
are.
with us. You know, what I said earlier this morning is that the osprey knows where to go. He knows what he's doing. And he's probably, I mean, it's so amazing because he doesn't even have to think about it. He just goes out and does it. He just flies over where he's supposed to go. It's not a heck of a lot of thinking or conflict or struggle or whatever like that. It just makes it, he just goes. We hope that on Sunday nights you come here.
That's right, migrate, right?
You don't even have to think about it. Oh, it's 8 o'clock. We're going to go watch Mark and Molly. Don't even have to think about it.
We're glad a lot of you do that. That's
We're going to
just
get
so
some
fun.
hot chocolate
It's a
cooking
treat.
or whatever.
That's right. That's right. Some
Get
tea,
the ginger beer out.
ginger beer. That's right. That's awesome.
No heavy lifting. Just join with us.
That's right. So, hey, this song could be dedicated to Osprey too. Off She Goes. That's the name of it.
Off she goes. This is it.
All right, you remember how we were gonna do this? We're gonna do this.
We're
a
going to
little
do this. We're
different,
going to do it
right? We're gonna do
creatively. I
it
think.
creatively. All right. All right. Here we go.
Was that fun? Was this as much fun for you as it was for us? Was that, honestly, can I have a comment, please? Was that as much fun for you as it was for us?
That was fun. That was fun.
Oh, man,
That's
that was
fun.
just terrible.
Oh, thanks.
That was a hoot.
That was fun. All right. What else are we going to do tonight? Oh, we got another good one.
Oh, my God, we got to do this one for sure.
Is that how you do that one too? That's a special thing? Cool.
How are we doing on time? We good?
Yeah, I think we're good. Very good.
I haven't done this in a while.
I think
This
this
is Cape Cod Girls, folks. And I know many of you like to sing along. And I hope you'll join with us.
Yeah.
We pay a lot of attention on the fish around here. We care a lot about the fish in the ocean. Cod used to be incredibly plentiful in these waters. It's what brought the pilgrims here. You know that already, of course.
That's right.
The pilgrims didn't come here on vacation in 1620. They weren't coming for vacation.
They weren't tourists, no.
No, they weren't tourists. They were coming to have a livelihood, have a life, start all over again. And they already knew that there was fish here. Because 18 years prior, a fellow named Bartholomew Gosnell came to these waters. He named Martha's Vineyard. You know all that already. He also named Cape Cod, and you know that already. There was so much cod in the waters around here. Even European fishing boats would come out to the east side of the Atlantic to go fishing for cod. Because they depleted the cod on the western end of the Atlantic. So they came over here to get it. And there was plenty. There was George's Bank. There was George's Bank and Grand Banks. And that cod fed America. Not just the settlers, but fed America as it grew. Many of you growing up may have remembered having cod, and having cod was plentiful, and it was so plentiful, and it was cheaper than hamburger.
They would sell it in those little wooden boxes, the salted
Salted cod, that's
I
right.
remember that.
You could still get those boxes too. The one thing about cod that you can't say about beef is that you could preserve it with salt, and it would last longer. Beef you could wouldn't last as long. Cod were easier to save and store and pass around, and ship from here and there. Cod was essential, and you know cod. You love cod. There was all kinds of. When we were growing up, we had codfish cakes. We had cod for dinner. We had cod for lunch. Now, Cape Cod girls, they don't use no combs all the way home. They comb the hair with codfish bones and were bound away for Australia. So it's even up my board all the way. Heave it up and don't you make a noise. Bound away for Australia. Cape Cod boys, they don't use no sleds. All the way home. They slide down the dunes on codfish heads. All the way for Australia. So leave it up my board. All the way home. Cape Cod doctors, they don't use no pills.
All the way home.
They feed their patients on codfish gills. Even up my boat. Even up and don't you make a noise. Cape Cod cats have no tails. They lost them to those southwestern gales and were bound away for Australia. Even up my bullet boys, all the way home. Even up and don't you make a noise. Bound away for Australia. One more verse. And you know this verse because it was the first verse that we sang. So please join in. Well, now, Cape Cod girls, they don't use no combs. All the way home. They comb their hair with
Codfish bones.
bound away for Australia. So it's heave it up, my bully bully boys.
All the way home.
Heave it up and don't you make a noise.
Bound away for Australia.
Bound away for Australia. Bound away for Australia. I have to tell one more story.
Oh, okay.
Tied to that song. You know, I heard that verse saying, Cape Cod cats have no tails. That reminds me of a cat I knew years ago. When I was living in Lower Manhattan during my days of college, I worked at the South Street Seaport Museum. Anybody know where that is? Lower Battery, lower that. There's still a little bit of a flavor of a 19th century seaport down there at South Street Seaport Museum. And it was also the home of the Fulton Fish Market. Anybody remember the Fulton Fish Market? Fulton Fish Market. It was sort of like the Times Square of America when it came to the arrival of fish, fresh fish caught from all over the country, was shipped to the Fulton Fish Market for distribution. And they were fishing boats that actually unloaded their fish in Lower Manhattan too, but that was before my time. But there was this cat. And the Fulton Fish Market was open at night. That was when the fish were be landed. You know, all the streets of New York and everything as busy as it is, and at night it gets pretty quiet. So it was a great opportunity for people to buy and sell fish. During the day, the Wall Streeters and all those wonderful people all dressed in jackets and ties and whatever would command the streets. But at night, it was the fishermen and their fish truck drivers.
And a cat.
And there was this cat that wandered the streets, the cobblestone streets of Lower Manhattan, because I lived there. His name was Pirate.
Perfect.
Everyone, he was the celebrity. He was sort of like the mayor of the town, because it's like at the night, you know, if he showed up, whatever, and he had a distinct feature on his he was missing an ear.
Oh, Pirate, that's perfect. That's perfect.
I think he had both his eyes. But I do remember his missing his ear. And his name, among all the fishermen, I mean, I don't want to say fishermen, the truck drivers, it was mostly truck drivers. But here was Pirate, and Pirate was not a starving to death cat. in Lower Manhattan, where you had fresh fish arriving daily.
That was treasure. That was like gold doubloons right there.
It was like, and he commanded. You know how a cat is in a neighborhood. We got a few out here that are the same way. They're authorities. Don't mess with them. So anyway, I had to just throw that in there. But every time I sing that song, I think of Pirate the cat.
That's perfect.
He was a tiger cat too. I think it was a tiger. I vaguely remember him from a tiger cat. But anyway, I had to mention his name. Please, if you have any cat stories, please join in. Please share. If you have any Fulton Fish Market stories. We want to do a shout out tonight.
Gotta do a shout out.
I want to shout out to
Another shout out.
Candace Nichols.
That's right.
And her sister Gwen. Gwen, right?
Gwen,
right?
yeah.
She has a brother named Wayne, but I want to focus on Candace. She, just a few days ago, dropped off a copy of a book by Gail Huntington, Martha's Vineyard folk songs, or songs. Dropped it off, an extra copy.
Isn't that nice?
Signed by Gail. Dropped it off at my house. She also dropped pictures that her sister Gwen had taken of Molly and I.
Down on the Oak Bluffs Harbor.
On the Harbor Festival.
The Harbor Fest, yeah.
Yeah, back in the beginning of the summer. And, you know, you heard us talking earlier about how much we appreciate you all. Here's a perfect example of somebody we cherish and treasure. I mean, Candace Nichols is a very nice lady, and she's a busy lady. She's a busy lady on Martha's Vineyard. She's running around doing all kinds of stuff.
And sometimes you'll see her here with us live in our show.
She may even be on the show tonight making comments, but she shares the show. She also goes on the show and shares. She'll share the show with people.
And we appreciate that.
We appreciate it, and I have to say, she's one of the. I won't say she's not as she doesn't go as far back as some of my other friends on the show do, but she's been 2 years easily. I'd say 2 years. Candace, correct me if you're on the show. Anyway, we want to shout out to her sister, brother Wayne. Obviously, he's a nice man too. But it's these people that make this show what it is.
Like you.
I mean, Molly and I make the music. We do pretty well. We're all right. I think we're pretty good.
We have a good time, that's for sure.
We have a really good time.
We love it.
But it's you folks. Look at the comments on this show. It's not a small number of people.
We're glad you're all here.
And so we'd like to wrap this show up with obviously rolling home, but we also want to say thank you to all of you. Please, you know, if you're thinking of helping us even more, become a Patreon supporter. We need you. There's not an economic engine that drives this show. It's our love for it, but the Patreon supporters help put some money into the equipment we got here.
Yeah.
We have some anonymous contributions of significant amount of money too.
Significant. Help with gear and helps with the monthly
people who watch
streaming.
the show contribute to the show, and so
You're all awesome.
You're all awesome. You're all wonderful, and we want to share in that fellowship and partnership. Please comment. All our friends out there.
We love to see all your heartfelt comments.
This morning show, we had people all over.
That's right.
Just the morning show. It's not even like I wasn't even singing or anything. And you weren't even there.
I wasn't there. I loved watching it.
We weren't even serving coffee to anybody.
You were serving up good scenery. That's what you were serving up.
And thank you for your comments too, because it's not just the comments on the show, it's the comments to us individually that you send to us. It's like, you're so sweet.
Yeah.
This world is tough. This world is having a hard time.
Yeah.
And you folks are out there helping us.
What a beautiful community.
And helping each other. You write each other. I look at some of the
So
correspondence between you two, and 3 and 4, whatever, 5 of you. You check in on each other.
That's like magic. That's
And in the height of the summer, somebody will, hey, you know, we haven't seen her such and such. We got to check in on somebody.
That's so sweet.
This is about as close as a club as you can get.
It's sincere, heartfelt, and that's really lovely.
Call all hands to man the capstan. See the cable running clear. Lead the way and we'll for you. Dear stream, rolling home, rolling home, rolling home across the sea, rolling home to Vineyard, rolling home, dear God's again. Fare thee well, you Spanish maidens, it is time to bid adieu. Happy times we spent together, happy times we've spent with you. Rolling home, rolling home, rolling home across the sea, rolling home. Round Cape Horn, one frosty morning, and the sails were full of snow. Tighten those sheets, I'm pulling those halyards. Let her off, and let her go. Rolling home, rolling home, rolling home across the sea, rolling many thousand miles behind us, many thousand miles to go. The ocean knows her waves leading us. Rolling home, rolling home, rolling home across the sea, rolling home to Martha's Vineyard, rolling home, dear God to thee. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you to the crickets for singing along.
Thank you. Somebody heard the crickets in the last show we
That's
did.
right.
The crickets were
They're
so
singing. They're
they
singing.
were outspoken.